Content warning. Today's episode of Pop Culture covers topics that may be disturbing for some viewers or listeners. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Hello, my lovely hummingbirds, and welcome back to another episode of The Grain of Salt here on Pop Culture with your lovely host, Monroe. How's it going, everyone? I know my makeup look is giving a little fall, a little autumn. Not only are we now officially in Virgo season, but also it's almost Halloween. And the way that the months have been flying by, I mean, honestly, we're not that far off. For today's reading, falling in line with the topic of conversation for the week of breaking cycles, we are going to discuss breaking cycles. More specifically, what are the cycles that are impeding you from your progression? And for today's episode, we are also doing something a little more different. From the images that we're going to show for each of your piles, from the images that you pick, that is how we are going to base off our reading. I was going to say choose wisely. No pressure, y'all. No, so it is going to be a bit more of like a channeling situation based on the image and the vibe that I get off of those images that I created from the affirmations from my wonderful wall of affirmations. And if you haven't been tuning in since the beginning, it's something I used to do on TikTok where I would read. I wrote like, I don't know how many post-it notes of affirmations, and some are quotes from people, some are random quotes on the internet, some I made myself. But that is what these 4 images are. We do have 4 piles for today, and we are also using 4 different tarot decks. So it's only going to be an intuitive discernment from the piles and clarification via the tarot. So without further ado, here are your 4 piles. Alright, my lovely hummingbirds, take all of the time that you need. Pause the video here if you need to. But let's begin with pile 1, shall we? Pile 1. Hi, darling. How's it going? Are you exhausted? Yeah, me too. So, for your image, you have this like latex, iridescent, liquid looking background image with sparkles and confetti and pink letters with a lavender background and a black shadow. And honestly, there is just entirely too much going on at once in your picture. And for you, the entire time, pile 1, I feel over it. I'm tired, I'm done, I'm exhausted. These retrogrades are retrograding and they need to fucking stop, and I heard leave me alone. For a lot of you, while I was looking at your image, like initially creating it, I sat there and I was like, you know what that latex liquid iridescent reminds me of? You've ever seen rainbows inside of gasoline? I got a very vivid image of you standing, whether it is at a body shop, your parents' shop or store, with family. They were fixing a car and you look down and you're like, oh pretty, it's a rainbow, and it was actually spilling gasoline. I don't know what happened after. Either it was a very movie moment and the car blew up, or which I really hope that didn't happen. That was very specific. Or you saw it and I'm getting you were young, like you were a little baby. You were around the ages of 6 or 7. And you're staring at this, you're having quite a shitty day, really needing to escape from your family, from your life, from your home. And I'm so sorry, my lovely hummingbirds, if this has happened to you. No one should go through that. Wow, my third eye just started pulsing when I said that. Pile 1, the actions and inactions of the adults in your life when you were at your most vital points as a child is not your fault, and it is not your responsibility to fix. One of the thoughts that I had when I thought about the rainbow and the gasoline and the motor oil, I was like, yeah, but it's still motor oil. You get it on you, you'll still catch on fire, you'll be slipping and sliding and smelling like gasoline. But for you, what I'm getting is you have tried to make the best of the worst moments of your life, and for a lot of you, the best out of every situation, because the demons that you carry are not just external, but for a lot of you, it is an internal thing, and there are a lot of envies around you. My left eye was just like burning at this point. Ooh, in my throat. So, one of the things that I forgot to mention in the introduction, all the decks that I'm using today are yellow. Yellow represents it is associated with the solar plexus chakra, which is all about sunshine and joy and living happily. And my throat hitched when I said that. My lovely, lovely hummingbirds. And I keep hearing Manipura means gem, most precious gem of the city. That I don't know if that's accurate. Here's what it means, but you had a very fake it till you make it mindset, and at some point in life you blinked and you were surrounded by glimpses of the future you could have, but you found yourself surrounded by glitz and glamour, and none of it was real. They were simply rainbows in gasoline. As I was saying, all the tarot decks are yellow because the sacral is, not the sacral, I keep thinking sacral. Your sacral is all about your creativity. It's ironic that I'm wearing orange, actually, because that's the color of the sacral chakra. Your lower aspects of from your solar to your root, solar sacral root, are not in balance, and they haven't been for a really long time, where you had to work really hard to get them in balance, and now everything is just, it feels like a mess. It feels like chaos. And for you, I'm hearing it feels like you fucked up big time. And you don't know how to fix it. You don't know if you can. You got so hung up in the images of what you thought something could be that you got distracted from the reality of what is. And for a lot of you, a lot of it had to do from your past experiences, from your traumas, from that hurt, from always having to mask and hide and bullshit and do all this stuff to keep yourself to this certain degree of elevation, but the certain degree of elevation never existed. It wasn't real for you, not truly, because you didn't believe that it could be. Another thing about the tarot that is for your reading, it is the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And for this one, it literally just says the Rider tarot deck. We have the Magician on the front of the case, and you have bent over backwards trying to alchemize your life into what you think it should be, but you don't know if you really feel that you quite deserve it yet. This is not for everyone. You did not have the greatest upbringing. And if you're listening to this and you're like, no, Monroe, everything was always beautiful. If it was, this might not be your pile. If you're in denial, you need to come back to this reading at a later time. Oh, my voice cracked when I said that. For a lot of you, you need to really peel back those layers, dust off some of that glitter, clean up that oil spill and realize that you're romanticizing a lot of dark, heavy shit that is not in line with your highest future. Also, the fact that you picked a traditional Rider-Waite, obviously unknowingly, because I didn't put the decks in the beginning, but the fact that you picked the Rider-Waite, the traditional one, means that you grew up in a very traditional household. You had a mom and a dad that were together for better or worse, and oftentimes it was a whole lot worse than it was better. And they set forth these expectations in you, whether directly or indirectly, that you have since internalized to either lean towards a very misogynistic, I heard, way of thinking or viewing things that you have since started to break down, or on the polar opposite of that, to the point where you just wanted to run away from everything and leave everything behind. But like I said, you're lathered in oil. So you were making a pathway for people to essentially light you on fire. With your quote where it says, when you start to shine, some people might try to put out your light. Let them burn themselves trying. My lovely hummingbirds, you at present, you find yourself surrounded by a lot of fake people. A lot of people that are seeing you rise, that are seeing you skyrocket, that are seeing you glow up and grow up and do what the fuck you said you would do from jump, but they weren't there from jump. So they don't trust you, they don't like you, and they only liked you when you were achieving to a level that they perceived was within your range of capability, not theirs. You need to be very careful, I heard very mindful, very cutesy, very modest, very demure, of how you move around these people and what you post on the internet. Because the fact that I'm bringing up the TikTok trend, for a lot of you, you might be internet sensations or internet sensations to be. Be very mindful. And I heard for some of you, be very cautious of how you speak. Do not speak ill of people that supported you at your lowest points. You are not the only one that is divinely guided and protected, I heard, and there is no ill will there. Do not make it such when you've come so far. You don't want to see the vengeance of your own spite come back to bite you in the ass. Alright, let us see what is up, my lovely hummingbirds, with these cycles. Your overall message already from what I'm getting. Yeah, we got... Ooh, hi babies. Not they fell. We have Queen of Cups as your overall message. Considering we're talking all about the cycles and things that we need to break, you need to stop ignoring your feelings, ignoring your emotions, and you need to stop not balancing them with rationality. You need to level and ground yourself. You need to be present. You need to have a moment to sit the fuck down and take a nap and be in silence because you have too much going on at once. Declutter. Declutter your home, declutter your space, declutter your mind. It really is all going to be okay, but first and foremost, you have to believe that it's going to be okay. So, first cycle that is impeding you, your emotions. Second cycle that is impeding you, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is all about reaping the rewards that we have sown, about the work we have put in and seen. So the card before it is the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about putting in that hard work to achieve something great. Ten of Pentacles is like absolute abundance. You did it. Congratulations. You reached the end of that, right? With that phase. With this you're in that in-between period where it can go up or it can go down. And one of the things is you have always been in a center of extremes. When it came to your finances, either you were rolling in the dough or you were not at all. Interesting. The next card that we have for you so we have the Knight of Cups. We have a love offer. Your blockage with that, and the clarifier for it came out right away, is that you are not seeing things clearly in this situation with this Knight of Cups. This Knight of Cups can be this. The potential exists. Whether you are a divine feminine or a divine masculine, this person does have the capacity to be a king because you are a queen. However, like attracts like always. And that's not always something easy to hear, especially when we know the type of caliber of person that we strive to be, that we want to be, that we are fighting to attain to be for ourselves. That I heard, you're attracting nothing but scrubs. You're like, ew, why am I attracting that if that's not me? Well, you need to bring it back in, realign and refocus and see what it is that you're bringing in. When it comes to a clarifier for your Queen of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. You are denying yourself your creative joys and thrills and adventures in life. You are sitting there not really feeling like you're the shit. Not really feeling passionate, not really feeling creative, and a lot of it is because you've grown too meticulous about the way that it should be, that you're not simply allowing yourself the space to experience it. And for your clarifier for the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Emperor in reverse. What this is telling me is not you've grown very asinine of how you've built this expectation of how things should be, and the fact that they're not already. I keep hearing the word competition. You are in competition with no one. And you need to start getting that out of your head. The only person you're essentially competing with, my lovely hummingbirds, is you and every past version of yourself. And both my eyes just started burning when I said that. Again, I heard you're surrounded by fucking snakes. You need to be careful, pile one, because these people, I keep hearing they want your downfall, they want your downfall, they want your downfall. And the fact that the Queen is surrounded by women, and more men than women, you've been thriving in this heavy masculine, divine masculine energy, when the universe is asking you to be not passive, never passive, but more soft, more vulnerable, more allowing things to flow. If the current is going in the opposite direction and you're pushing along to climb upstream, you're literally hurting yourself in the process for being so stubborn, for being, I heard, so condescending, so hard-headed. And your final overall message, my lovely hummingbirds, you are not seeing things clearly. You're clouding your own judgment with the Two of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. You're not seeing things for what they should be. Usually the Two of Wands means not seeing things clearly in a situation. In this case, in the reverse, it's an internalized thing where you're not seeing things clearly for yourself. Your biggest deterrent has always been, you don't trust you. That is your cycle. That is your cycle to break. You don't trust you because I heard for a lot of you, you still don't know who you are. You haven't fully figured it out yet because you're still trying to rip yourself away. I heard from the weeds of the upbringing that you had because everything was so tense and it was so rigid and it was so unstable, even if it didn't look like that from the outside. To you, your experience, it was, and you don't really know how to make a stable foundation when you feel like you're drowning in quicksand. These people that you're surrounding yourself with, these parties, this nightlife extravaganzas, all the shit you're doing, is not helping. Take a moment, pull away, go away, and I heard gain some perspective. Get in touch with your emotions, but do not let them overpower you. Do not let the internalized demons that you've clung onto like a sword and shield because it felt more comfortable than living a vulnerable, peaceful reality define you for the rest of your existence. To the point where you just throw on some blinders and nope out. Because it's easier to live in all the shiny part. And one of the things that I kept hearing is glitter is simply just glass. Glitter and glass are made in the same factory, I think. There's only one factory in the entire US that makes glitter. I don't know. That's why certain glitters you're not supposed to put on your face. Not the point. You need to be careful how you're moving. Be careful who you're telling. And trust your abilities. Trust who you are, and if you truly haven't figured that out yet, you will. Alright, my lovely pal ones, that is it for your reading for today. Today, I put the disclaimer on today's episode for the readings because I knew they were going to be a little harsher. But yeah, I'm so sorry there are no extendeds. I'm doing a transition from platforms for the extendeds, so stay tuned for announcements on that. But you need to really work on voicing that it is okay to be soft. To require a little more extra genuine care and affection. And getting comfortable with being shown love outside of the materialistic, outside of what just looks good. Alright, yeah, that's it. I love you, Pawan. Have a good one. As always, les mando mucha paz, muchos besos, y les recuerdo que miren hacia la luna, sending you much peace, many kisses, and reminding you to always look up at the moon. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hi, pal 2. I just heard, why'd you say it like that, Monroe? So for today's reading, as I mentioned, it's going to be a little different. It is going to be intuitive. I just saw the card right down the bottom of the deck. It is the World card. For those of you that don't know, and this is your first tarot video ever that you have seen, or you've never heard a full explanation of tarot or what it is, I feel so hot. There is no AC where I'm at right now. The World is essential. Ooh, my heart skipped a beat when I said that. Hi, pile 2. It's gonna be okay. It's really hot where you're at right now. There's no AC mood. The World card is the last card of tarot. It is the fool's completion of his journey till he starts over again on a new journey. you are at a very, very massive end of a cycle. And we're going to get into the tarot in a second. But first, we're going to get into your image, pile 2. Hi, pile 2. So, for your image, the card itself reads, the purpose of life is to know yourself, love yourself, trust yourself, and be yourself always. Not Alan Rickman, R.I.P. Picture in a picture is part of your picture. It's essentially an image of a moment captured in time, right? And it is capturing the image of, and I'm totally gonna mispronounce this, a nope. A bougainvillea, I don't know. It's a plant. According to Wikipedia, it is a thorny, ornamental bush, vine, or shrub. And I kept hearing decorative, 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 right? The entire time. Also, the fact that your picture is an image captured in time, captured in a moment. A lot of what I kept hearing for you, pile 2, is you are my nostalgic bunch. You are my nostalgic pile. I love you, pile 2, but you tend to really, really romanticize the past and what has been and what is done because it's easier facing the truth that it might have ended in a horrible way and that it's not there anymore. And for a lot of, pictures always show the pretty stuff, don't they? Usually when we capture images, unless you're a journalist, photographer, or a professional photographer of some sort, usually when we capture images, it is in the good moments that we want to remember. And for you need to delete those pictures. I don't know who that is for, but you need to delete them pictures, pile 2. They are not those pictures. You are enthralled with the idea of reminiscing of the potential that they had for the future that you dreamed up of you two together, that they never saw. Stop reminiscing so much. It was simply decorative. I kept hearing decorative. Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea. I don't actually know how to say the name of this plant, but it is native to Brazil, Peru, y Argentina. For a lot of you, either you are from Brazil, Peru, Argentina, or you live in either of those countries, have for some time, are currently traveling there, staying there, or this person is from there. Take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't, my lovely hummingbirds. Other things to note about this plant is, and we were so focused on this plant, during the channeling for your image, I was like, wow, we're really going real deep into the meaning of this plant, huh? Universe was like, yes. The thing with it is, it loves the sun. Okay, so full sun, hot weather, and it has to be protected from windy places, windy climates, and the roots cannot be disturbed. And just like this plant, my lovely hummingbirds, you are a person that does not take kindly to people fucking with your foundation. Fucking with the things that I heard that I built this FYP brick by brick. You are not a person that takes kindly to things not going exactly according to your plan. But love doth not work that way, pile 2. And clearly this is relationship focused for you, my darlings. So, the bougainville, the booga can grow up to 20 to 30 feet. 6 feet in a whole season. However, it does need space to grow. It cannot, I heard it can't be a fucking clusterfuck. Yeah, essentially. It can't be heavily surrounded by other things in its environment. Like, it needs that space. And it represents protection, spiritual connection, and peace. You are a person. Pile 2. Yes, you are a human being. No, you are a divine being having a human experience. I heard it. I'm still trying to get used to all of it. Because I don't know what any of it means. I saw 626 when I said that. Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means somebody gets on fire. I forgot it. Okay, anyway. Your deck. And I would just like to say, Pile 2, I love you. The deck that you chose for your reading, I already showed you the world card. And if you follow me on here or any of my socials, you know it's Big Mama. One of the things I forgot to mention in the introduction is that all of the decks today are my yellow decks, is what I call them. And the yellow decks, the yellow represents the solar plexus chakra, which is all about happiness and joy and being centered in it. And it also represents guilt. Oftentimes when we move forward in life to achieve our highest dreams and hopes and desires, this isn't for everybody. If you were called to Pile 4, go watch it. But that's not for everyone. That's only for a select few of you. Because of something I said, you'll get it if it's meant for you. But when we go for our dreams, when we go for our hopes and desires and all of that, oftentimes it can lead to guilt. Especially if what we truly desire is something that breaks tradition. Pile 2, you picked my other very traditional deck. Okay, you picked Big Mama. And I love me some Big Mama. She can be a little ruthless in times. She's been through a lot. She's been passed down a few times, right? You see this box? Holding on to dear life. I gotta make her a new box soon. The fact that you got the world card as your first overall message is what I'm hearing, is because you are at the end of your journey. And the clarifier for this bad boy, for this bad girl right here, is none other than the 8 of Wands. It's time to move forward to your next step, your next phase, Pile 2. You cannot remain neither in the space that you've been, nor with the people that have been surrounding you. Having all this nostalgia towards this person, towards these people, is simply going to create more and more tower moments. And the reason that I say that is your first cycle that you need to break, that you have, is the Tower card. You have grown very accustomed to chaos. So much so that you feel like you can't function in anything else because you've never known peace. So what would you do with it? What would you do? Ooh, I heard if I actually went and got with, I heard with her, with my person, and someone actually loved me peacefully. Actually loved me. For me. Okay, Pile 2. Hi. Let's get into your other obstacle. We have the... Ooh, hi. We have the 5 of Wands. And 5 of Wands is all about battle. And we already got your clarifier for that one, and we are gonna wait on that. Pile 2, Pile 2. What am I gonna do with you? Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, just a little bonus message. We got Queen of Wands and the Star. You have a very creative person. For a lot of you, a fire sign. For a lot of you, you have finally seen the truth. Because you are no fool, I heard. You're not at the beginning of your journey. You are not a person that doesn't know what's going on, pile 2. You are very experienced. For a lot of you, you are older. You are either in your 40s, mid-40s, in your mid-30s, going into your 40s. I heard your frontal lobe is completely developed. Like, you are a person that has had many experiences. And with them have come a lot of tower moments, a lot of hurt, a lot of deceit, a lot of deception. The cycles that you need to break. The clarifier for the Tower card is the Judgment card. What that tells me, my lovely hummingbirds, is you got a whole lot of eyes on you at all times. Which is why I heard you actually hate taking pictures, because you know someone can spiritually use them against you. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if that happened to you. You're very cautious of who you allow to have your picture. But you love capturing moments in time. You love capturing those images and having them so that you can reminisce. And for a lot of you, it's kind of done in this notion of maybe it wasn't so bad after all. But it was. Especially when it comes to this person. You two were not equally yoked. I heard while you matched in the bedroom, outside of it was chaos. And you've had instability for so long. Your upbringing was not as squeaky clean and beautiful and traditional seeming. It wasn't what it appeared to be. Every action was scrutinized. Every moment, every movement, every breath you took was literally under a fucking microscope. For some of you, you either grew up very wealthy, very popular. For some of you, you might have grown up famous. Might have been a child star. I don't know. These are the messages I'm getting. Or within your community. And with a lot of you, it came with a lot of harsh judgments from those same people that were supposed to be offering you love and respect and support and attention. I heard positive, constructive criticism that was not received. It was not constructive. And with it, you ended up having all these internalized and externalized battles. The Five of Wands is a fight. It is essentially one person fighting for other people. And that was you. You were always in a battle. You were always in a competition. For a lot of you, you might have been in competitive sports to some degree or still are. Or your parents pitted you and your siblings against each other to see who would be better. And these are traits that you internalized because to you, this was your upbringing. This was tradition. That's just the way things were. So whenever you sought out a relationship, you felt it had to be challenging. There was no choice. Because if they didn't challenge you in some way, then they didn't stimulate you in some way. Then you'd get bored and you'd go on to the next best thing. I heard you and your track record of fidelity and committed relationships is not the biggest. No shade, pal, too. I'm not here to judge. It happens. Right? Your clarifier for those battles is the Lover's card. You see this priest over here? that's marrying them or is supposed to be marrying them, he just looks very conniving to me. Cupid's there. Cupid is like, yes, you guys are supposed to be in love. And they're like, yes, how can I use this to my advantage? You have always been surrounded by advantageous individuals because I heard they feign to love you. They feign to care about you. Why do I keep messing with my hair? What is going on, pile 2? Are you shifting in your seat right now as you're watching this? Messing with your hair, fiddling with things around you. You have always been surrounded by advantageous people that constantly wanted something from you, that feigned love or affection to get something from you. Because I heard you've always had it like that. You were always someone that was about your business, that you've always been the well-off friend in the group. And you've always been, I heard, the wealthiest person anyone that you've ever dated has ever dated. Yet you always felt in competition some way, because every time those relationships ended, if it wasn't from your hand of like, you know what, I'm over this, goodbye, I'm bored, it was because they unfortunately did cheat on you because you were always working. Because you like to maintain your wealth. But the thing was that it was a very imbalanced cycle of give and take. They were taking, and you were giving, but you were always at work because you had to constantly provide, because you set an expectation that is what you would provide. And not for them, but it's an expectation that you've set within yourself because you want to be a provider for someone. I heard for someone that truly needs it, truly deserves it though. Wow, I choked up on that one. And you haven't quite found that person yet. Or you have. You're just too... But what happened is you're seeing a lot of similarities between them and your past person, and you're like, nope, can't be. They're gonna end up being just the same. Well, you're never gonna know if you don't approach them. You've gotten the confirmations. Don't let your fears hold you back. Don't let your ego get in the way of you. Sometimes our ego can protect us. It's not always a detriment, but there are moments where that ego is being fueled by fear, pile 2, and that is your case right now. You're hyper-focusing on work. You always have, especially when things go wrong. With the 8 of Pentacles here, hyper-focusing, while it is great for your bag. Yeah, I heard your Queen of Suffering. Jeez. Big Mama. Your Queen of Suffering. So are your emotions. You're hyper fixating on the material and what is right in front of you because it is easier to face the fact that these emotions that I heard you feel for her, you feel for them, scare the ever-living shit out of you, pal, too. I heard because you finally found someone you can be real with, someone you can actually be yourself around. The fact that the biggest part of your quote is the be yourself always. You couldn't really do that around these people, or can't if they're still in your life. And you see this person who I heard is genuine and bubbly and genuinely bubbly, and it's not bullshit. They're just the way they are, and I can be free. Of self-imposed expectations from the actions that you did in moments where you felt like nothing better would ever come along. And then they showed up in the weirdest of places you never thought they would ever be in. And that's part of what has you doubting if they're really all that in a bag of chips. Well, pile 2, you won't know until you find out, huh? Go get your person. That is all I can say on that. Go get them. Go be with them. Make your presence known. Because for a lot of you, you're doing a whole lot of internet sleuthing and no in-person communication. That you're falling in love with an idea of an idea. You need to take action. Because I heard, put your big boy pants on. You are not a person, pile 2, that falls in love with ideas. Unless they're your own. This person is real. They're not AI. I don't know who that's for. Reach out. And be you. Trust me, it's going to be more than enough. And the next time your ex tries something or reaches out because they're so concerned of whatever bullshit situation, I heard for some of them, they're still friends with your siblings. They can ask your siblings if this is something that is impacting all of you. There is no need for them to directly communicate with you, especially if it is something that you are not comfortable with. Set a boundary and keep it. You're not flip-floppy, you're not wishy-washy. You don't bullshit. Stop bullshitting yourself. Own up to the fact that you do want love and affection and tender loving care from one person only, is what I heard. You deviated drastically from the traditional upbringing that you had because you saw that it didn't work. And then when you thought you had it all figured out, you realized that definitely didn't work either. Be genuinely you. Be in that vibration. And stop fucking running away from the love of your life while still trying to hold them on an energetic string. Because at that point, no one's winning in the situation. And you're supposed to both win together. Alright, that's it, my lovely pal 2s. That's your reading for today. As always, I love you all so much. Les mando mucha paz, muchos besos. Y les recuerdo que miren hacia la luna. Sending you much peace, many kisses, and reminding you to always look up at the moon. I love y'all. Have a good one, pile 2. And I was gonna say I hope to see you soon. That is so random. Yes, I hope you come and watch another video. But it's gonna be okay, pile 2, don't worry. And your person's not gonna reject you if that's been real heavy on your heart, huh? And that's not gonna happen. But you need to speak from the heart. If you don't know how to do that, you better start writing it down. Better use our Dear Man technique. Wow, that's a therapy tool. Put it to use. We learn the tools we do in therapy so we can use them in real world situations. Alright, pal 2, I love you so much. Have a good one, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile 3. How's it going, my lovely hummingbirds? It's been about a day or 2 since I recorded part 1 and part 2. If you're wondering why I have a different shirt on. For you, my lovely pile 3s. You are... I kept hearing curse breaker, curse breaker, curse breaker. And now I'm thinking of the Hogwarts game on the phone. For a lot of you, you might play it, and I heard hearing it or seeing the word curse breaker puts you in a notion of like, damn, no one has really ever done this before but me. Sorry for that slight pause there. I had to apply some setting spray to my makeup because it's hot as fuck in my office right now. The AC is down and it's hot as fuck outside. But very interesting. The thought that came to mind while I did it was every time I strive to do something, there's always something else. There's always another thing to do. There's always something to fix, something to study. As I'm studying my other cards that I used for the previous piles. As I mentioned, this reading is going to be a little different. It's not going to be just tarot. We are going to go based off of your image, which your image, my lovely, the one that you picked, my lovely pile threes, it is a snowy mountain top from the perspective that you would be standing on, looking over to the horizon where the sun is beaming forward, and it's like clear mountain range, clear hilltops, no direct path though. And your text is very yellow, very glowy, bright. Behind it is a white box and like a clear, almost see-through white box with a shadow behind both of them, kind of obscuring the way forward. However, there is no clear carved path. And the phrase for your image states the following: if you can't find a way, make one. You are the way maker, pile 3. You are the one that I heard you didn't really grow with any examples for the person that you are, which pushed you even harder to make the path that you currently are living or heading towards at this time. For you, my lovely hummingbirds, we have the Arte de Echar Cartas, which is the Tarot Egipcios. It is a Spanish deck. The other thing that I was getting for you is you were either of a mixed upbringing, I heard dual religious household, or you, as you grew up and became an adult, the values and things that you held near and dear to your heart, soul, and spirit did not directly correlate with the way that you were brought up in life. Also, the theme for today's reading across all the decks, I used all of my yellow decks, which represent the solar plexus, which is our mid-center. It's our space where we feel all good things and joy and happiness and abundance, but also the space of guilt if we are unbalanced. For a lot of you, you were pushing along, but I heard that good old Catholic guilt. I keep seeing, for a lot of you, you might be my spiritual bunch that reads cards and does all that. Not me almost knocking down my my little camera here, my little setup. So that's the other thing. For your reading, we're having a lot of pauses, a lot of interruptions, a whole lot of like, it feels like foggy memory. My head is pounding right now. Ooh, pile 3. Take a breather, baby. And I heard I will, but these people don't fucking listen. Okay. That tells me a few things. You are definitely the spiritual friend in the friend group that reads the cards and gives them advice and does everything and tells them what to say. My Muse Tarot deck is just staring at me, okay? She's staring me down. If you've been considering, I heard, doing a collaboration or purchasing this deck, then this is your confirmation that is the right choice to make. Also, my deck has been eyeing me since I walked in here. I do have to do a reading with her. If it does go up on YouTube or you see her in one of my readings, then those messages also apply to you, pile 3. Take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't. But for your deck, you are, I heard, at a long-standing battle between tradition and living the life that you so desperately have pleaded the heavens for, God, for the universe. For some of you, I heard a lot of you, for those watching pile 3, you might have had an issue with having faith at various points in your life. I see you standing there at the edge. Either you're on a bridge or along a waterfront of some kind, and you're like, God, if there is a God, if you can hear me, please fucking help me. I am losing it. Mind, body, and soul. I'm begging you, if anyone is listening. And he listened, and you saw a shitstorm. For a lot of you, you are at that breaking point where you're at the last tip of your shadow work, the dark night of the soul. You've exited. It was long and dark and cold and grueling for some time, and now you see the brightness and the abundance and everything that can and will be for you on the horizon. But well, here we go. The past, I know we don't want to hear it. My whole vision just completely fogged over. I just changed my lenses. There's no reason for that to be happening. It looks a little foggy and muggy out there, pile 3, because my mouth started watering. Temptation, she is a calling in the shape of I heard the females from the past. For some of you, you have some very siren individuals. I heard more like succubus individuals. People in your life that really, really have they have their claws deep in you, pile 3. I just got real quiet when I said that. For a lot of you, these are secrets that you have kept hidden, tucked away in a nifty little box in the back of your closet for a really long time. Even the people closest to you don't know that you partake in these things or with these people specifically. I also got really hungry during your reading, which means that you are craving for more. You're craving for something different, for something new. You're craving to finally get out of this downward spiral that you feel like you've been in for so long, to the point where you've had to keep your energy, I heard, level-headed to yourself, which is why I heard family and friends don't know everything that you do, just because you're like, I know, I heard dicking around. Have you heard those car horns? That's a confirmation. You're out here slinging that thing. My gosh. And you're like, okay, I get it. It's fun. The bedtivities are very fun. But you're pulling back and you're like, okay, but is it actually worth it? Is it actually what I need to move forward with? And it's very interesting how I spoke a bit about your upbringing, and it kind of just leaped into the other thing. You are heavily impacted by the things that you witness. Also, I have a very strong urge to just put my sunglasses on, grab a little cup of coffee, walk outside, and just be like, you know what? No, I'm fucking done reading over. That was your message. Goodbye. Absolutely fucking not, pile 3. No. As readers, it is hard to hear it. Especially when we know that we're the ones actively participating in a lesson that we no longer need to repeat. The universe said it is done, pile 3, so let it be done. Okay. But yeah, let's get into your tarot now, shall we? This is all about the obstacles and cycles that you run in, and what it is that you need to... What are those cycles that you need to heal? It is not a past, present. Well, kind of past, present, future. Not really. Kind of, sort of. We are pulling, for the most part, 3 cards, 2 overall cards as like your overall message of your biggest cycle, and clarifiers. So, in case you were wondering. Also, your cards feel real sticky right now, and it's not because it's hot in here. It's not because cards are made of plastic. It's not all the rational logistics of it all. No. All the other cards shuffled real nice, real smoothly, and it was hotter that day. We have the 4 of Cups. Anger. Your overall message. Ooh. Okay. Why did I say it like that? We have the Ace of Wands and the King of Hearts. Out here breaking hearts with your passion, pile 3. Oh, that's an interesting. So that takes 2 turns. One, you are very, very good at what you do in the bedroom. That people get real hooked on you, and you're like, No, that's not what this is. Because for a lot of you, you know who you're supposed to be with. You're just like, there's a stalling to that leap. And I heard it's not because of you. There's some other external influences that need to happen with your soul family. That's kind of impeding your future in abundance as well from being connected to this person. Interesting. Okay, your overall message, you are abundant though. You are in the right place at the right time. You're no longer looking to the past, which is very interesting that we have the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups, and then we have La Luz or the Sun in the reverse. I'm like, what am I looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Interesting. Eight of Cups and Knight of Swords. Ooh. Okay. A confirmation about the soul family. Wow. So you are going to get justice in this situation, pile 3. If you're inclined to see pile 2, go watch it. That's if you're cross-watching for pile 2 is what I heard. You are going to get justice in the situation where everything is going to turn around. I heard and they're going to finally listen to me. Yes, absolutely. And it is going to take some movement though. So we do have the Eight of Wands, which is also why I said go watch pile 2 if you're so inclined, and the Knight of Cups. You are going to be very content, very happy, because you know that once all of this moves forward, it's going to bring that right there moment to your aha moment of like, cool, this is where I'm supposed to be. Here's the thing though, it is going to take a bit of a push from your behalf. And I heard even if it takes you contacting that person for them. I know. Crazy. And for a lot of you, if it is also a fellow spiritual person, then you are going to have to be like, hey, we should do a collaboration, blah, 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 just to like, put some motion in the ocean. Pile 3. To get things moving forward, to get things flowing. With your overall cards, your biggest, not obstacle, but definitely your biggest push forward, pile 3, is that you need to really embrace the fact that you love what you do, you love it with a passion, and that you are where you are supposed to be. And if someone is like, no, you're not emotionally mature enough, you're not, first off, you're a whole ass king, pile 3. Let me just say that, whether you are masculine or feminine or however you identify, this is all about energy. You are in a very level-headed, very balanced place in life where not nearly a person, nearly a being can, there is nothing to challenge with you. And for a lot of you, that is your biggest obstacle, because since you've done so much healing and so much work, you're kind of like waiting for the left shoe to drop. And you're like, okay, so when's it happening? When's the next big thing I'm gonna have to fucking deal with? And for a lot of you, I heard because of the people that you love the most in your life, that you hold near and dear to you, which are very close friends and family, right? Not the King of Wands is stressing you. We have the Four of Cups being clarified by the Eight of Cups. It's time to let go. It is time to let go. While you are a very, very mindful, very cutesy, very demure, you are a very mindful person when it comes to diving real deep into the shadows and letting go of the past and all of that. You kind of also cling to it and wear it like a shield. In the sense of, you look at it, you see it there, and you're like, yes, I'm using this as my motivation to move on and move the fuck up in life and move forward and do what I need to do. But also, you keep looking back. The universe is telling you, you can't keep looking back. That can't be your only reason to push forward. That can't be the only reason you hold space to make momentum in life. It's like your prosperity is tied to others, but not the others that are no longer in your life, pile 3. Yeah. And the thing with it is, I know you wish people well, and part of you is like, yeah, so they leave me the fuck alone. I get it. I do. But don't let things you've walked away from live rent-free in your mind, lest you repeat that cycle. You know that what you focus on, you inevitably call in. Stop focusing on it. Stop idealizing the way that things should be and occur, and realize that if you're being shown certain things, pile 3, because like there's different levels to psychic activity that happens, right? To visions, to premonitions, to the way that you view things. There are times where you are shown things to, yes, leave it the fuck alone, and it's like, hey, just a little warning here, this is what's gonna happen. But there are times where the universe is like, bruh, I'm doing everything I can over here, and I've tried to budge and move forward. The universe is asking for your help on this one. They're like, I've given them the signs, I've pushed them in that direction, your frustrations are being heard, but now it's your time to meddle. And I know, I heard pile 2 doesn't like it when I meddle. They don't. But on this one, trust me, they're going to be grateful. Because so much goodness is going to come from it. Wow. Your other very big obstacle. So we have the 5 of Cups in the reverse and the Knight of Swords. A cycle that you're going to have to break is being very, not dense. I heard dense, terse, stubborn, hard-headed. Ill will at times, not ill will, pile 3. You have a knack to, once you moved on from the situation, being very cold, being a little frivolous, a little shrewd in it, but also being very, huzzah, we ride at dawn, and not really thinking it through as much as you should, or being as calculating as you should, which is why I heard the person that you're supposed to help give a nudge along. You're supposed to nudge them along, not throw them off the fucking cliff. And you go big or you go home, pile 3, and I love that for you. But one of the things that I heard is bluntness isn't for everyone. Some people do require a little bit more TLC, even though that is not always like your vibe, your beat, your style, right? Because you see so much more, because you're so intuitive, because you have not only the gift of gab at times, but also that foresight, you get why things need to get done when they need to get done, and not everyone can see it as quickly as you. Some people need to be in the middle of it, experiencing it, finally, I heard, in order to make that forward movement and do what the fuck they're supposed to be doing and handling. And your last obstacle, you need to believe that the bad days are over and the pretty days are here. Also, you need to get some fucking sleep. With the Star in the reverse here, not only are you, I heard you have more dark aesthetic, so like I heard skinny jeans, metal belt, leather jacket, dark sunnies, black hair for a lot of you, dyed black. I heard very, you're not one to have fun in the sun. You love a good sunny day, but you are very much a night owl, and oftentimes that is when you get into the deepest of your thought processes. You need to put down the caffeine a little bit. I'm no one to judge. This thing, full of caffeine when I got here. I'm not one to judge on the caffeine consumption, but you need to take a moment to slow down, pause, and breathe. And also accept that good things are happening Not just coming in the future once you get them together. Once you get these divines to do what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. Not just then. Good things are happening for you right now. You need to switch your perspective a little bit to be more in, yes, the flow of abundance and gratitude. Because the more that you are grateful for, the more the universe is going to continue to keep rewarding you with all the beautiful blessings that you so rightfully deserve, Pile 3. Because you do deserve them. And as far as your upbringing, the fact that it didn't come up, but it came up in your initial channeling, I know you're over it. I know it feels like such bullshit, and I know that has been a driving force of the things that you've been advising from. But here's the thing, Pile 3, and I say this with all the most love and support ever. You need to also focus on you. Stop fucking being there for everyone all the time, at all times. And if their stagnation is impeding your progression, you need to fucking get the fuck up and do something about it instead of just ruminating on it all the time at night. You were meant to be in this life to take action and make forward movement, especially in moments like these where there isn't any. We keep also negating your upbringing, Pile 3. There are shadows and battles there that you are going to have to face, especially because they have been coming up with the situation that you've been assisting with. The reason it's like you keep shoving it down because you're like, I'm not ready. My hands just started shaking as I said that. You are ready, and that's what scares you the most, because your biggest what now comes after. And that's the part you fear. As fun as it is coasting through life at times, you can't get to where the fuck you need to be to get with your person until this is handled, resolved, dealt with. So go do it. Also, and this does not apply to everyone, but if you wear little baby silver dangly earrings, so fucking cute, and you're like, I lost one, yeah, the person that you thought took it. So, do with that information what you will. Protect yourself, up your warding. And if you've been concerned about some jars that you've made lately, and this is not for everyone, this is only to who it applies to, you're gonna be fine. Like, there's no issues that are going to backfire from those. You're seeing the chaos that needs to be revealed to you because you've had some people smiling in your face that are not truly genuine with you, and you had to see that for what it is, which is why the chaos. You asked for help. I heard Hecate answered. So do with that what you will, my lovely hummingbirds. As far as being mixed race, I keep hearing Egipcio, Latino, so that's not for everyone. Take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't. If you've been called to work with certain deities, listen to that. But you are very, very dead on about what the fuck it is you're supposed to do in this situation, so follow that intuition. If it is getting the fuck out of the house, to get them out of the house, to put them in front of the person they're supposed to be, because with them comes your person. Ain't no time like the present, Pile 3. Alright, that's it for me, for you, for today. I love you all so much. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Go to my Calendly if you want to book a reading with yours truly. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. No extended readings this time around, as I'm like switching over platforms for the extendeds. But yeah, les mando mucha paz, muchos besos, y les recuerdo que miren hacia la luna. Sending you much peace, many kisses, reminding you to always look up the moon. I love you all so much, Pile 3, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye! Hello, my lovely Pile 4s. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to your reading. So, the first message for you, Pile 4, is all wishes deserve to be real. We're going to get more in about that in in a second. But for your deck, we have the Neoteric Feminine Tarot, my little Soleil deck, my little sunshine deck, and the card at the bottom is the Six of Wands, which represents absolute triumph, prosperity, abundance, celebration, all good things. But if you picked this image, then this is your pile. And your image reads as follows: live by your inner knowing and strength. We have in the image a coffee cup, a red candle, glowing yellow and orange. We have a fallen leaf stuck on the book, and it's on the page that has already been turned. Glitter behind the letters, a white font outlined in black. And we do have like a pink kind of film over it. So, as I mentioned, this is going to be a little more intuitive first, then cards after. You, my lovely Pile 4s, are a very experienced individual. You have lived a life. And you are the type of person that when someone looks at you, they're not going to be like, oh, this person had it hard. No, they're going to look at you and be like, oh my God, look at them. They're so soft, so happy, so vulnerable. Like, they've probably never struggled a day in their motherfucking life. That is the mindset when you first approach. But something happens, and it's so funny. I'm looking at my shades, my bad bitch shades, and I'm just like, when you flip that switch, Pile 4, you're just like, it's a whole different energy, a whole different vibe, whole different attitude. You've probably been called fake or phony in the past because of that switch up that you're capable of doing. And let me tell you, Pile 4, the universe is grateful for your existence. I'm grateful for your existence more than anything else. I'm realizing now my microphone was so far away from me. I hope you could hear everything as well as possible, but you are a person that has taken those experiences, and I heard written a book out of it. For a lot of you, that might be a very big possibility. You might have actually written a series of novels when it comes to your personal experiences, the things that you have gone through, because you have the inner knowing and the self-trust and the assurance that, you know what, I'm not the only person that can learn from these experiences, so can other people. Because for you, Pile 4, when you grew up, you learned from those that were meant to protect you, the ones that were supposed to keep you safe, that you wanted to be nothing like them. Because I heard all that glitters is not gold, and while you did live a very cushioned lifestyle to some degree on the outside, what was behind closed doors was not pretty. You're my Pile where if you run into anyone, okay, on the street, anyone that knows your family, anyone that was there for your youth or watching you grow, when they talk about your parents, it's like they're talking about the next fucking saint to get canonized, is what I heard. And you're just like, yep, no, they're amazing. Yeah, no, they're doing great. And you're just sitting here like, oh, fuck me, right? Chopped liver. That's cool. And then it goes to the, oh, and how are you? And you're like, great, I'm doing fucking wonderful. Or you say what I say, I exist. I know it's not easy, Pile 4. Especially as being the person that had to rip away from tradition, rip away from everything that you were told things are simply just this way. It doesn't get better than this. You already have all of the best. Why do you want more? But you've always yearned for more, because you know that with the more that you're yearning for comes a level of peace, a certain degree that no one that ever, like, to this day surrounds you when it comes to family and loved ones has ever known. That was very interesting. If you're watching me and you're sitting near water, please don't drop your phone in the water. I moved my leg a certain way and it rubbed against the table that's like where my tripod is on, and it felt cold like water. Like if I was sitting at the lake, I live in Chicago, if I was sitting at Lake Michigan and the water like hit my legs for a second, that's why I looked down and I got so startled. I was like, did I spill something? Water is your place. That's where you go to breathe and relax and think and really put into motion or make your plans for the things that you want to put into motion, because you are a person that does. Even if others or yourself cannot see it right away, you are a person that puts things into motion at various degrees. Now, with the candle there, with the coffee, with the books, for a lot of you, you have lived a life where you had to learn a lot, pile 4, and not always via the nicest route. Which is why celebration is your and 6 of Cups is right underneath it. That is your overall message. The biggest cycle that you need to break is you believing that you don't deserve love, reciprocity, and all of this abundance. Sorry, pile 4, I feel like I'm breathing so much in your pile. 1, you need to do some meditating. 2, if you're currently sitting there smoking, you need to chill out. Take a deep breath, take a breather, because it's really gonna be okay even if you don't see it right away. So for you, pile 4, the other thing is, because you were giving more than others and that you either currently associate with or have associated with, does not invalidate your experiences nor the traumatic moments that you have endured, because you have endured them. And just because you were given a little more in the beginning of your life to get things rolling does not mean that you deserve the rewards for your achievements any less. With your image, right, with the picture that you selected, why did image hurt so much? Pile 4. Ooh, my chest. You feel like actions that you took in the past poorly represent the person that is currently in your existence, that you're currently operating as. And you feel like the actions that you took directly impact the flow of your abundance or lack thereof. I want to tell you, pile 4, you need to do a reframe of that, because while yes, first impressions are important, what you need to understand is that you have taken the steps to learn and grow and build from that you are no longer the person that you used to be. That page has turned, that cycle has closed, so I need you to let it. The reason that the leaf is on that page in your image, or the thought process I had when I saw it, was it's time for you to get up and move on from the past. Crunch your feet on all those leaves, but keep it pushing. I know it's hard to live very present day, especially if you are writing books of self-help or stories that kind of go toe and toe with your personal experiences. It might be hard to draw that line of like, okay, this is the book and this is me present day real life, especially if it brings up traumatic moments or moments of pain for you where you're just like, okay, I'm not there, I'm not currently living this. Ooh, I quivered when I said that. Yeah. Another thing about your deck. So it is my sunshine deck. It is lined in gold. And the pictures are bright And I mean, it is a feminine energy deck, but the sun is represented by masculine energy. For a lot of you, you've had to find that balance of being soft and deserving, because you have not always been soft, and more often than not, you have not felt deserving. You are in a state of balance right now, and if you don't feel it, you're definitely in a state of building that balance now between your masculine and feminine attributes. But it's gonna take a lot of work, and not in the like you need to hustle work. It's gonna take what is actual work for you. Voicing your opinions, voicing your existence. I felt like I was gonna vomit when I said that. Wow. And realizing that not everyone is worth the battle. So for your first obstacle, we have the Page of Swords, right? She's looking off into the horizon. She's getting ready to slash, looking absolutely fabulous in that red dress as she does it. Your clarifier for it is the Seven of Wands in reverse, which represents putting down the staff of fight. Your second obstacle is the Ace of Cups, clarified by the Sun card. And your third obstacle is the High Priestess, clarified by the Magician. We have a whole lot of upright going on. Ace of Swords, King of Swords in the reverse show themselves to me, as did the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon cards. You gotta make a choice, Pile 4. And why did I just picture you throwing your hands in the air, my lovely Pile 4s, my lovely hummingbirds? No, it's not. Well, it's not a why choose. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not one of those decisions between two people, but it definitely is the universe has been waiting for you to speak up and say earnestly what the fuck it is you want, so they can give it to you. But if you're sitting there keeping yourself busy, just doing busy work, not really being like, okay, God, this is my Pinterest board of ideas and how I want my life to look. Let's make it happen, Captain. Then you can't just be like, well, where's that prayer? Where's that prayer? And the universe is like, well, you haven't actually told me what you want. One of the things about the spiritual journey and the journey of life, love and self-healing and all that good shit, and manifestation, especially manifestations. When you ask God, the universe, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your divine beings, all of that, what it is that you want, what you desire, there comes a suspension of delusion that needs to come with it, to the point where you believe it's already here. You already have it. Not living your life mimicking as the idea of the version of yourself that you think has this, or how they might act, but actually genuinely and truthfully operating as the version you have already seen that has it, and moving as them, and operating as them, and not from a state of, oh, well, future me has this and this, and no, my lovely hummingbirds, not that. What's that energy feel like? When you think of that future, what does it make you feel? What's the sensations that that spark throughout your entire body? What does future you think like? How do they move? What do they do to take care of themselves? How can you, within the means of your current environment, make that happen? How can you plan to making it happen for the way that you envision it? Your biggest obstacle being the Page of Swords with the Seven of Wands in reverse. Nobody's fighting you but you right now. you find yourself in a consistent battle of trying to convince everyone else of what you fucking deserve and saying it and vocalizing it, but then internally, you're battling all your demons constantly and your negative confirmation bias, and you're screaming at the world, I deserve this, but on the inside, you're like, no, I don't. And the universe is like, okay, now how do we get you to out loud and scream internally, I fucking deserve this? Because you do. You have a lot of internalized fears and negative outlook from battles you have very, very physically and verbally done against others outside of you. For a lot of you, this is very personal, like family members, loved ones, significant others that made you small. Not only made you feel small, because you actually took initiative to diminish your light for the comfortability of others. And the universe is like, pile 4, you gotta cut that shit out, baby, because that's not helping you. You can't make everyone happy. You can't operate from a place of wanting to please others all the time, at all times, and then say, oh, but why am I unhappy? You know why it is. You know you're not living as your most true, genuine, authentic self. Wow, my voice went real bad there. Your biggest obstacle is being you. Because you think it's going to hurt somebody else's feelings. And while, yes, for some people it might, when those people are no longer here, no longer by your side, no longer there to say something, the only person that you have looking back at you is you. And if you can't be happy with you and you're so out of whack and not aligned with yourself for the experiences that you want to have, you're telling the universe, and the universe is like, bro, your energy real confusing right now because you're saying you want this, but you're operating like you don't. You're operating like you don't trust me, like you don't believe this is real, or like it's gonna happen and come to fruition. I don't want to be mean to you, pile 4. I don't want you to take my message and be like, oh my god, she's fucking yelling at me. But sometimes the universe is like, bruh, I need you to get it the fuck together. I heard, oh, you have little faith. You claim to be this full of faith and vulnerable and surrender, and you trust in the universe and all of its guidance and of its path for you. And then the doors close and you shatter. How can we work on raising your plateau? How can we work on raising the expectations that you run away from in order to build them as your goals for a future where you've already seen yourself thriving? You are a very intuitive pile, my lovely pile 4s. Very intuitive. But your biggest issue is you're trying to find a proper map of how to do things and do all these logistics for something that is asking you to release. For something that's asking you to let go. For something that's asking you to simply flow. The universe is like, yeah, okay, I get you want to like get your material world in order and you want to like fix, you know, the way that you experience the spiritual realm, and there's all these little moving parts, absolutely. But you can't control every single fucking minute of every day, pile 4. Because that's why you're so exhausted. Yes, things... You grew up in a home where you had to do things because if you didn't, they never got done. Ooh. And that goes much deeper than just, oh, if I didn't make my bed, or if I didn't check the mail. No, you had to parent yourself, your siblings, and your parents in turn. For a lot of you, I heard you are the baby or were the baby at a point in time, and you went through some shit, pile 4. Which is what framed this mindset around, I have to do this by myself all the time because otherwise it's not going to get fucking done. That's where it came from. It came from your need to survive, but you're no longer there anymore. And I need you to realize that you need to now thrive. Live, experience life. And know that everything will be okay. You have to let it be. Your second obstacle is a Leo. I'm kidding. For all my lovely Leos out there, I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke, but not really though. So, Ace of Cups. Your clarifier is the Sun card. That's why I was like, your next problem is a Leo. You're about to fall in love with a Leo, pile 4. Or I heard Leo Moon, Leo Venus. Sun rising, wherever it lands for you, with the Ace of Cups here and the Leo card being your clarifier. If you're manifesting love, if that's what your big manifestation is besides money, because of the coin and the little pentacle there, you need to believe that it's actually going to be real for you this time, and that it's actually going to be good for you this time. The universe is like, alright, cool. You say you want this person, I'm gonna send you this person. And you're like, cool, but I don't want no bums. And the universe is like, you said you want a bum? I thought they just told me they wanted all of their abundance and prosperity. Why are they talking about bums? And you're like, no, I said I don't want a bum. And the universe is like, but you're vibing on bum energy now because you're focusing on it too much. What we emanate, we gravitate towards. And if you're so focused, because everything is energy. Okay? Pile 4, that's the big secret, my lovely hummingbirds. Everything when it comes to manifestation is energy. Energetic expression, energetic release, energetic reception, and, acceptance. The fact that as a cycle that you need to break is love and the triumph of it is because of that upbringing. Because you see the successful relationships around you, or what seems to be successful, and you're like, wow, I really want none of that. I want it to be real. Because you've seen in moments when it wasn't. I want it to be raw. I want to experience her true love. And that scares the ever-loving shit of you. Because the fact that your first one is the page, it's funny because I thought of it. And I was like, why am I thinking about the page? The pages, if you've watched my tarot explanation videos, history of tarot, I'm like, pages are the fuckboys of the tarot is my identification of them. That's not... because of the energy that the page cards are. And the universe is like, I need you to bring a bit of that fuck it all energy back. Yes, it is good to be one with the universe. Yes, it is okay to be a bit more controlled in our emotions and our delivery of them, but you cannot pacify your existence when your existence was meant to cause disruption. It doesn't mean you have to run around being a ball of chaos 24/7. Trust me, as a person that runs around being a ball of chaos 24/7, it does not mean that. It just means that, like, you can live a life of peace, but that does not mean that you let people walk all over you. You have to stand firm in your boundaries and what you have already decided is for you, what the universe has already decided is for you, what you have seen. And it's coming in real quick, pile 4. You need to buck the fuck up and get fucking ready. Because you cannot sit there, a walking contradiction, promising to the world that sees you at large and the universe as a whole being like, hey, this is what I want. And then it comes in and you're like, oh my God, is it real? Oh my God, do they actually want me? Oh God, no. Like, universe, you have jokes. This can't be real. They're probably a fuckboy. They're probably this. They probably don't like me. Why go to that? Once you have your abundance and literally in the palm of your hands. Jeez, why did I get that image in my head? Your final obstacle, we have the High Priestess and the Magician. Your cycle that you keep repeating, pile 4. You come from a place where no one really trusted themselves to do, to be, to thrive, to succeed, to the point where you have seen them do very self-detrimental shit. Yes, you have also done self-detrimental shit, but the difference is you didn't stagnate. You chose to, you know what? I'm going to just cut that shit out. I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to move forward. So move forward. Trust in the divine knowing, the divine awareness that you have of everything that you've seen for your future. And trust that you have the power and magical abilities to succeed and achieve all that. Divine grace, divine blessing. God is with you. The universe is with you. The angels are with you. Your ancestors. You have so much spiritual fucking protection. And I love you, pile 4, but you need to believe it. It's so funny because I looked at... Yes, I have 2 little evil eye bracelets on here, but I also have my soulmate bracelet to bring my man towards me. If my soulmate ever runs across this, hi. Love you, babe. Anyway. Me in single as fuck at this current time. But see, here's the thing with that, right? You need to really get to speaking about things like they're already here. Like they're already happening, pile 4, because they are for you. Time is not linear, even if it feels that way. Even if we perceive it that way. In this waking human existence that is our own, so our brains can make sense of it. You're a lot wiser and smarter than you know, and if you've been holding off on that book, get the fuck up and do it, baby. Nobody's gonna do it for you. And if you're afraid of the attention and the fame and all of it that's gonna come for it, it's gonna come with it. Why'd I say for it? Ooh, because people want your perspective. You are such a high caliber being when it comes to the spiritual realm, which is why it feels like you heal so fucking quickly from shit that it might take others a very long time to deal with and get over. And it's so funny because you are a person that reminisces and has all this nostalgia, and people confuse that with like, it's more of a whimsy in you, but people confuse it with, oh, pile 4's not over this. In reality, you are. But it's really your artistic measure being like, hey, you remember that thing that happened? I need you to write that down. Get up. Live your life to its fullest potential. Be the shining star that you know you're meant to be, pile 4. Because you deserve it. Alright, that's it for me for you for today, my lovely hummingbirds. As always, les mando mucha paz, muchos besos, y les recuerdo que miren hacia la luna, sending you much peace, many kisses, and reminding you to always look up at the moon. I love you all so much. Book me for your very own personalized reading. I told you I didn't say that in pile 1 or 2, my bad. But via my Calendly, go watch any of the other readings, all of that, but it really is going to be okay. Don't worry. I pinky promise. I just heard Gru's voice. Ah, yes, my pinky promises. Not despicable me playing in my head. Go watch a good comfort movie. Have fun. Enjoy it. You deserve to have good things in life and enjoy them in the process. Stop fighting yourself. every step of the way. Get it out of your fucking way, pile 4. Okay, I'm done scolding y'all. I love y'all. I hope this reading helped whoever it's for. Teehee, I love you. And if you do end up writing that book, please drop it in the comments, or if you already have, I love reading and I would love to read your stories. Okay, I love you. Bye.